What's another year, 1983? A new year and a new law to wear a seatbelt. Not everyone understood. Pardon me for trying to save your life.
Hello, can I ask you why you're not wearing a seatbelt? You realise you're breaking the law?
At home, the VHS recorder still flashes 12 o'clock. It's now been doing this for over a year. It's a monument to human failure. January and Kajagoogoo turned up looking like they'd been assembled entirely from hairspray and cheekbones, sang about being too shy, then spent the rest of the year proving they absolutely weren't. By the summer, Limahl was sacked by the other Goo-Goos, dismissed via telephone to change their musical direction to flop status. Breakfast Time launched on BBC One. Frank Boff in his chunky knit and Selena Scott with her long legs.
We're standing outside my front door with cameras and notebooks and autograph hunt. It was lovely.
I don't think that's going to stop.
It might do in a few years if you dress up in lingerie and snort Charlie with Prozzy's mate. February and Men at Work sing about Vegemite down under, and somehow Britain nods along like it makes sense. Knight Rider makes its debut on ITV and convinced Britain that crime fighting in a leather jacket, talking mainly to your car and running in slow motion was a credible personality.
You really do have a wonderful sense of humour, Michael.
Cheers, mate. After months of will she or won't she, Deirdre Barlow makes the choice to break up with Mike Baldwin on Coronation Street and reunite with Ken. The episode is one of the highest rated in the soap's history. March 1983 and Eurythmics turned up from the future. Androgynous Annie, staring straight through you. Dave Stewart pretending this was all very normal. And Sweet Dreams were made of this. MTV exists. We can't see it yet in the UK, but suddenly everything is a video. Your dad says, "Why don't they just sing?" You say nothing, because he still listens to James Last. New Order released Blue Monday. It would go on to become the best-selling 12-inch single of all time. Turns out they lost money every time a copy was sold, as the intricate sleeve artwork meant it cost more than what they sold it for. No wonder they always look so hacked off on Top of the Pops. April and pound notes were out and new £1 coins arrived. It felt futuristic, heavy and important, mainly because you immediately lost them down the back of the sofa. You need to get one of those new £1 coin holders, that's what you need. Woolworths is thriving. Pick and Mix is still touched by everybody. Don't nick any though, the woman behind the counter's husband knows your dad. An average house costs 32 grand and a new Ford Sierra about 5.5 grand. Skodas are cheaper. Why do Skodas have heated rear windows? To keep your hands warm when you're pushing them. What do you call a Skoda with food inside it? A larder. May and Return of the Jedi hits cinemas. You leave the cinema wanting a lightsaber, knowing you'll actually just get a stick. Roland Rat was on TV AM, being described as the only rat to join a sinking ship. Top of the Pops celebrates its 1000th edition. The programme is also broadcast on BBC Radio 1 to allow viewers to listen to the programme in stereo. Ooh! June 1983 and summer arrives badly. It's either boiling on the bus or raining sideways at the barbecue. Someone's dad cooks sausages that are raw and burnt. This is the tradition. With your pocket money, you can buy a new cassette single, or cassingle, as they were called.
Tracy, go upstairs and play your cassingle, and don't come down for 7 years.
They sounded like they were recorded in a kettle, but girls loved them anyway. Remember tunes? Cherry Sweets for when you were bunged up with a cold. Whatever happened to tunes? Loved them. Tunes. July and the A-Team arrives, making its debut. The A-Team built their inventions like a Blue Peter challenge on amphetamines. Give them a van, a welder, 3 fence posts and 20 minutes, and they produce a fully armoured tank that somehow never killed anyone.
Ain't getting on no plane, fool.
Paul Young announces, "Wherever I lay my hat, that's my home." Basically, he was a burglar, or perhaps a squatter. August and Blockbusters taught us that real intelligence meant knowing random facts and then shouting, "Can I have a pee, please, Bob?" Ronco and K-Tel albums still promise all the hits. They lied. Every song fades out early, but not long to wait until Now That's What I Call Music will change things forever. September, and where we lived got a new restaurant called McDonald's. It had a clown that scared kids and looked a bit like Cilla Black. New school year and new khaki rucksack, decorated by scrawling in magic marker, Big Country, Madness or Genesis on it. You daren't scrawl Marilyn or Ryan Paris, even though you liked their songs a bit better at the time. Howard Jones was playing 5 massive keyboards at the same time, and a bald man in chain danced along to the glorious New Song. October, and Neil Kinnock is elected leader of the Labour Party. Even the previous Michael Foot could navigate a beach without falling over. Tracy Ullman makes singing into your hairbrush fashionable, and Billy Joel seems to spend forever at number 1 with Uptown Girl. Uptown Girl was Billy spending 4 minutes explaining he wasn't posh enough for her, despite sounding like he owned a blazer, a decent car, and a very strong opinion on red wine. Mum fell for all the sales patter from a man demonstrating the Kirby vacuum cleaner door to door. What a bargain! Only 40 quid a month for 7 years. November 1983, and Now That's What I Call Music lands like a cultural hand grenade. 2 bits of vinyl, 30 odd hits, 0 shame. You'd beg for it because it had everything. Then spend the entire month sprinting across the room to lift the needle before Bloody Candy Girl by New Edition came on. We did, however, love Men Without Hats. Simple Minds' Waterfront was great, and so was Hey You, the Rocksteady Crew. Amazingly, the first Now album had 2 hits by Kajagoogoo and 1 from the now solo Limahl. Did you know that Limahl was an anagram of his surname? Always thought that Ilham was a stupid name. The Brinksmat robbery in London made the news. Nearly 7,000 gold bars worth over £26 million were stolen at the Brinksmat vault in Heathrow Airport. Only a fraction of this gold is ever recovered. The rest of it makes earrings and necklaces for Ratners. 9 years later, Gerald Ratner said they were total crap. And finally, December. The Flying Pickets will be the first a cappella number 1 and the Christmas chart topper of 1983. No instruments, just blokes in donkey jackets. 1 bald one and 1 with massive sideburns singing the Yazoo hit from the previous year. And that awkward moment when your dad admits, the Flying Pickets are quite good actually. Christmas on the cheap. Bernard Matthew turkey steaks, 89p for 4.
They're beautiful.
And all I ever wanted for Christmas was a spy briefcase. Guns and grenades for kids, anyone? What's another year, 1983?